Awesome.
What's the lock for the week?
And we're live, WPBN, Wolfpack Broadcast Network, Mike Arnold, Ridge Bourgeois. Waiting on Chip South. He's changing clothes. Pregame show, senior night.
Senior night.
Got the tailgate behind us. They're setting up. Walk-ons brought us some food out. We'll get that out in a little bit. So thank you to Matt, Jeff, and Ryan and the gang over at Walk-ons. Had a great coaches show last night. Probably have about an hour-long pregame show, and then we'll take a break and then head over to the stadium. But we're going to do a couple segments this evening. We got the guys from Big Easy Bets coming on, Logan and Nick. We're going to kind of do a weekly segment with these guys where we give our top 2 picks of the week and kind of rank them as we go and see how bad Ridge and Lenny and Chip and them do. So,
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll start off first, obviously, talking about the senior night tonight and the seniors at St. Paul's. Kind of go through those guys a little bit. And they're in the locker room right now. They already did walkthroughs and getting ready for this game tonight versus West Jeff. So what are you looking for tonight, Ridge?
Yeah, look, I think for St. Paul's, you want to keep building that momentum, right? I think offensively at the scrimmage with Curtis, dominated the line of scrimmage, and that carried over into the jamboree with Rummel. So you want to, we're going to lean on those guys just like you had last night at the coaches show, and then defensively, again, keep taking those baby steps. A lot of guys breaking in there, but I think from the Curtis game to the Rummel jamboree, I saw great improvement there. And so tonight, again, you start tweaking a few things, especially with Mick. I think you were in such vanilla defense and not doing so many different things the first couple games. So, again, I'm expecting them to do a few different things, continue to play downhill, taking those baby steps so we can get off the field on third down.
Yep.
And, I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach Francis. Coach Francis. We never get Coach Francis on here, so we'll just go ahead and we're going to throw him under the bus right here real quick. We're live. Just give us a few minutes. Give us a few minutes. So Coach, here, I'll give you this chair.
Oh, thanks.
So Coach Sam Francis, athletic director at St. Paul's here in Covington. This is your 3rd year, correct? Second year. We haven't really talked to you since your first week of your first year, and you look like a deer in the headlights there for a couple hours. But you're calm, cool, relaxed. Everything's running like a well-oiled machine. So how's it being the athletic director here?
Man, it is amazing. This is such a great place to be. I mean, for the kids to grow up, for athletics, for academics, you couldn't ask for a better place to be part of, and that's what I love about this place. I mean, look at this right here. We have set up right there for our football game tonight. You guys do a fantastic job, and that's just part of the enjoyment about being here, guys. I mean, how many other schools have their own pregame show from walk-ons and their – I don't even know what this is called, in front of the new gym here in the little quad area.
Yeah.
Before a football game, first game of the year, by the way.
The Grove. We'll call it the Grove.
The Grove, yeah.
I don't know about
Craig
that.
Myrtle's Grove here. But this is what it's about. This is what high school football and the enjoyment of being athletic director here at such a great institute of St. Paul's that we have. And man, it's a great thing. I'm excited to be part of something like this.
Definitely a championship mentality here.
Absolutely.
I think Ridge was about to say, getting to the semifinals last year, falling short 1 point to Catholic.
Couple points, yeah.
Our
Still not over.
Yeah, 3 losses last year. We're to the 2 state champions
That's right.
in 5A and Division I, and then the runner-up in 5A.
That's
so
true.
Ponchatoula, Zachary, and Catholic. Your baseball team usually has a great year getting going to Lake Sulphur almost 3 of the last 5 years. Basketball team got to the semifinals in Lafayette. Your golf team's great.
Yeah, 1 or 2 in the state usually.
Soccer ranked in the nation.
Rugby,
Wrestling.
Yeah,
So those guys, you look at the score for that, it's bad. It looked like that Florida State DeQuesne scored a week ago.
I saw today on wrestling. I mean, we had Matt Panaro showed up. We had a little conference deal today, and he put up in the dual meets in the last 5 years. I think our wrestling team is 43-3.
Amazing.
In dual meets.
I figure
they're
anybody
phenomenal.
who can survive being in the old gym, with,
I'm gonna tell you
hey,
what.
you coming out pretty tough.
They go in there and they sweat, man. Those
Yeah.
kids
Chip
work.
just changed his clothes in there,
work.
and he's sweating more than when he went in.
Oh,
so.
look at that. Yeah, he is.
I got one for you, Coach.
Go ahead, man.
What's on the horizon in terms of just facilities? And I'm hearing rumors maybe we're upgrading the turf. Anything happening facility-wise?
We're always looking to do that. It's need to be done sooner than later. Let's just say that. We're working hard at it. We're trying to find ways to get that done. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's always being talked about. It's always in the forefront of what we need to do. How can we make this place better? How can we make it more attractive to your students? So we're always talking about things like that and seeing where we can improve. And, I mean, if you look around campus, you can tell we're constantly improving things, whether it's athletics, whether it's educational buildings, whatever it may be. We are constantly improving ourselves to make us a better place.
Yep.
And y'all know, you never want to be complacent.
No,
Once you get complacent, you're not any good. Somebody passing you up. So we're always trying to be on that forefront of certain things.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for tonight? Have you before your athletic director days, you were a special teams coach on the football and a coach in the school.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to coach against West Jeff, or is this?
I have not. This will be the first time I get to see West Jeff. So, once again, guys, I didn't watch any film, so I have no idea what they have. I heard they're a little athletic. They got some speed. Yep. So other than that, I really don't know. I just try to get a little information from the guys, but hopefully.
Yeah, no, like you said, to me, the film that I've watched, it kind of, spread them out. Some big guys up front, and again, I was telling Mike earlier, it's so foreign to me to watch that their starting defense is a 3-2 front. 3-2-5. I feel like I'm watching a soccer formation or something. I'm like, because it was built the exact opposite the other way, right? You run a 4-4, 5-3. Maybe you ran a 4-3 if you had some speed, but the game's changed clearly.
The game's changed so much. It's a wide open spread game, and defenses will have to adjust. I mean, they run that 3-2 to a 3-4. It's almost like a 3-4.
Yeah.
So it's almost you have three different layers. You have 3 linemen. Almost a 4 linebacker with the 4 secondary set. But it's just a
disconnect.
And that's why those hammers become so volatile or valuable.
Volatile and valuable.
All of that, right? Because they got versatile, right?
And versatile.
But they're
a lot of these versatile guys. I mean, look at some of the guys we got. I mean, Johnson's one of them in mind right now. Seeing him out there, I mean, he could step down and play defensive end. He could play linebacker. He can play safety if you like.
That's right. And I think he does. Frankly, that's what they asked him to do with those hammers. Walk down there and play that strong side.
He does pretty much anything, and he's that size, that athleticism that you want, and those outside linebackers that can do just about anything, which is awesome.
Yep. So I apologize. I'm trying to fix stuff. I got one of the technical guys trying to jump in and work on the computer while we're live, and he doesn't know that, so I'm booting him out. But yeah, Coach Francis, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. So appreciate everything you do. Keep up the great job, and we'll see you in the press box later tonight. So
thank you all. I appreciate everything y'all do.
You can just set it right there. So Chip, let's take a quick commercial break. Let's hear from walk-ons, and we'll be right back at the WBBN pregame show.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, FlexSteel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Senior night versus West Jeff pregame show out here on the back lawn behind the gym, between the old gym and the new gym, corner of Jefferson and 14th, I believe. So I got the tailgate with the parents behind us that's rocking and rolling. Kind of since it's senior night, do something a little bit special for those guys. So we're going to kind of talk about them. Hopefully we can catch some of them coming in and out of the locker room and do some short segments with them. And but also got the guys from Big Easy Bets, Logan and Nick here. Weekly segment we're going to start on the pregame show. They're going to come in and kind of talk about what they like over Saturday and Sunday for college and pro. And you best something up.
Streams going on orange and red. We're good. We're red.
Okay. Yeah, the guys from Big Easy Bets will be here. You might be. Let me fix this just for a second. Logan and Nick, and we're gonna each pick a game. We're gonna track it over the season and
orange.
See how. That's fine. Just roll with it. Can't do anything with it right now. That's the internet. So yeah, Chip, you were changing clothes. So kind of talk about, and you missed the coach's show last night. You were out of town for work. What are you expecting to see tonight versus West Jeff? In the game tonight? I'm
thinking, especially on the offensive side of the ball, I think we're going to start actually putting the ball down the field a little bit. They're going to have a very athletic back seven. Second two levels are going to be extremely athletic from what I've seen on tape. What I'm looking at now is trying to get these kids and our kids in space, number one, and seeing how disciplined they are with their reads and staying in their zone and communicating on the back end. So I'm expecting to see a lot of, I guess you say speed motion is the easiest way to put it. You see it a lot now on the pro level, college level, and high school especially. I'm looking at a lot of speed motion to see how they're reacting to it and then coming off of that with the play. And number two, they're going to, even though they're very athletic, they're not a man-to-man team from what I've seen on film, very much zone. So I think a lot of us can be sitting down right in the middle of a zone and just finding a soft spot and letting Roshar pick them apart.
Their first game was, I believe, against
Brother
Martin. They had them up big at the half from what I heard.
Yeah, and, I think it was really close.
It was 35-0.
35-0 was a jamboree, but
yeah.
Brother Martin,
Brother
Martin blocked 5 punts.
Okay.
Yeah, the special teams was really limited.
Yes.
In fact, I mean, whether they could improve that or fix that in a week, maybe. But there's clearly an opportunity to capitalize on that. I know the coaches certainly have identified a few options there. My question, Chip, I mean, to me, looking at them, they were running at least a modified 3-2, which is, again, as we talked about. So, I mean, to me, if you're sitting in that 3-2 with 5 over the top, I'm getting our big boys up front to go. You're already in the second level, right?
Well,
so
that's the thing about being disciplined is you have to invite them, your defensive backs, up.
Yeah.
Get their eyes off the receivers, get their eyes off the motion, have them looking in the backfield as soon as the ball is snapped. And in all honesty, that's kind of our recipe for success every time. We have a phenomenal O-line. Our Davies has been running the ball like a madman in a scrimmage and in a jamboree. It's one of those things where
you stick with that until you can open it up.
Yeah, don't fix it. Yeah,
you stick with that, and then, like you said, as soon as you can get them walking down in the line of scrimmage or into the box,
and they're going to
your point, you're spot on. Those opportunities should
instead of taking
themselves.
the first 2 steps back as a safety, you start taking 2 steps forward.
But I would love to see the middle of the field getting a little bit more work.
I agree.
And just trying to hit a few of those skinny posts, some of those seam routes, or some of those little button hooks, just something that kind of.
Especially with Gower,
that keeps that defense in.
Gower and Ravane, let them work the middle of the field. They are perfect for that. They're tall, they're big, they have good hands, they're athletic enough to make it work. Do it. We have a lot of plays in there that kind of, I can't remember the name of what St. Paul's calls it, but it's pretty much just straight up the line, a quick dummy step by the tight end, and then hit the shallow seam.
Yeah.
And quarterback. Last year against Hammond, Bilson hit Gower on that, and no one's in 4 yards of him. And this is on the goal line. Yeah. So it's one of those things. He gives a quick influence steps and goes straight up the line down the seam, usually wide open. Because everyone's seeing, especially as a linebacker, who normally your responsibility would be tight end and end. A lot of times they see that block, that step down, they're firing up.
Yep.
And he just goes right behind them.
Yeah.
Easy.
So let's go ahead and talk about the seniors. We had the senior captains come up last night, offense and defense. On the defensive side, Ethan West and Jacob Johnson, Southern Miss commit. Linebacker and defensive back, which I'm excited to see. Jacob's been kind of contained the first 2 games. Not really contained, but the offenses the teams are running kind of kept him on an island most of the times. They didn't challenge him, so I'm excited to see that tonight.
And as we said earlier, just really keeping it vanilla. The hammers are your variables, right? I mean, your difference makers. So he uses them so differently, and not having them blitz or step into the box, playing just the vanilla kind of coverage.
Which they've been doing.
Yeah. It's harder to make plays. So to your point, I expect to see Ethan Johnson walking down the line of scrimmage, rolling out. I mean, mixing up the coverages. I mean, just kind of things coming from all different directions. So
yeah, I mean, what I've seen from West Jeff is kind of what we saw in the JV or the John Curtis game. The Rummel game on the JV side. Get the ball, throw it outside. Get the ball, throw it outside. Put it in the hands of your athletes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really expecting to see from West Jeff. Linemen. Big lineman, good feet, technique-wise maybe. I think we definitely have the advantage over them.
Yeah.
But size-wise, I think they'll rule the day there. But I think when it comes down to what their scheme's going to be, it's going to be get the ball in the hands of the athletes as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So, we're trying to fix some internet issues here. We're wireless. As long as we're getting red still?
We're red now.
Okay, cool. All right. So, St. Paul's pregame show versus West Jeff. Senior night here. We were just talking about the defensive senior captains. Then we got a chance to talk to Coach Kenny Sears III and his 2 offensive captains, Jacob Davies, and then also Dylan Buckle, 4-year starter at senior. Got a lot of things going on here, Chip. So got to talk to those guys. Dylan Buckle, spoke a lot more than Davies. Davies was a man of a few words, but he was to the point. So, but starting with Davies, excited, fun watching him in the backfield. I don't know his stats, but
he's been running well.
He's been running behind a wall, and he's got a lot of movement.
Birthday.
And there he is, Chris Johnson, birthday boy, live at the pregame show. You did same color. We got to mix it up. Okay, good. So. How old are you? We're on air. No. Chris Johnson, happy birthday. Just talked about his son, Jacob Johnson, on the defensive side. So, WPBN pregame show live at West Jeff. We're going to talk negotiations later.
We're good at that.
Yep. So, we were talking about the offensive captains with Davies and running behind that offensive line and just his athleticism. And the best thing I heard was, you know, we were talking about with Coach Sears III last night after the coaches show, and he was just talking about how we were talking about Salvaggio and his being a slash and a threat, and he was talking about how Davies, he runs like his hair's on fire. So,
I tell you, yeah, I mean, and he's, like you said, the line's creating holes, getting good yardage, but he's also, I mean, making that extra effort to pop them for another 15 or 20. I mean, just really.
Yeah, he's creating his own yards.
Yeah, he's creating a lot of extra yards just through good, tough, hard running. And you know, and shedding tackles and popping some big plays. So he's playing really well.
One thing being fortunate with St. Paul's is 2 years in a row now, we've had running backs that walking off the bus you don't think they're capable of it, but when the chin strap is buckled, they become alive, and they don't go down easy. I mean, No Block last year and Davies this year, both of them are similar stature, similar traits that they have. They're not going to run over you, you think, but then when you go to make the tackle, you see John Curtis in the winning touchdown that he had. I mean, the safety came down, perfect form tackle looked like, and Davies walked right through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he definitely has the ability to be an inside physical runner, even though it doesn't look like he does it.
Yep. And then on to our other senior offensive captain, Mr. Dylan Buckle, 4-year starter. You know, he kind of got a surprise last night. Selected in the Louisiana High School magazine as one of their preseason all-state senior teams. Only got St. Paul selected, 4-year starter, and a lot of leadership there to help out. I mean, there's 4 seniors on the offensive line, but having a guy that's been starting since a freshman, especially at center, because you're controlling so much,
huge.
Just big help there. So special kid. Probably go to ULL or LSU, major in engineering. Smart kid. His dad. Tommy's back there playing cornhole.
It's one of those things where quarterbacks always get all the glory about being how smart they are. But in all honesty, every offense from really high school all the way through pros.
9 and 10 football, buddy. Coach at 9 and 10 this year. It starts with the snap.
Yeah, exactly.
It starts with the snap, right?
The line calls start there, recognizing the defense.
Like throwing strikes. Just throw strikes.
Yeah, I mean, but it's hiking to Chip's point. You're calling out the Mike linebacker. You're calling formations. You're adjusting to the blitzes. I mean, you're the quarterback of that line, and nothing happens until you snap that ball. So.
Exactly, because I mean, left tackle cannot see what's happening on the right guard.
Yeah.
So thank you to those 4 senior captains. The rest of the seniors we'll go through tonight during the game, kind of announce those guys throughout the game and tell you a little bit about them. Got Jacob Johnson back here.
Can they steal your golf cart?
So,
it's theirs.
Yeah, I think they line up your golf cart.
But yeah, let's take a.
That's a third reference to your golf cart. Now they're getting in it.
They want to negotiate. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have the guys from Big Easy Bets, Nick and Logan. We're going to talk some college football a little bit, and they're going to talk a little bit about Saints football, even though they got a bye. Talk about what's coming up that next week, and so let's take a quick commercial break. Thank you to Walk-On's official sponsor of today's pregame show, out here live on campus, and we'll be right back.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Mike Arnold, Chip South, Ridge Bourgeois for WPBN. Joined by the guys, Nick and Logan from Big Easy Bets. Tell you a little bit about those guys before they tell you more. We kind of partnered with them this year and kind of help out the pregame show, add a little bit more content for you guys. They specialize in talking about all the college and pro football games over the weekend, what they like, what they don't like, from the game standpoint to the betting lines to the pretty much the personnel, the coaching. I've seen a couple segments with Nick going off on a few personnel players, and so Logan, tell us where we can find Big Easy Bets podcast, and before we get started.
Yes, sir. First off, thank you all for having us. We really appreciate it. This is a nice setup. I'm looking at this walk-ons food right here.
Oh, you can have some.
Yeah, some. That's what's here for.
I might have to. So y'all can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, also on YouTube at Big Easy Bets TV. All the social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Just search Big Easy Bets. We're easy to find. Yeah, we've been doing this for about 4 years now. 2019, we started it. A great year to start LSU national championship year. I mean, that's all. It's really self-explanatory, but
Yep.
yeah, any of those places you can find us. We're easy to find.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to have you guys. I think it's something to add, and the WPBN crew will pick their top 2 games for every week. We're going to mainly stick with college, but we'll talk a little bit about the Saints, obviously, being local. And Logan and the guys are going to track that for us, see how good I do, how bad Chip does, and just kind of keep up with our picks. So another thing, I guess we can go ahead and start here before we start talking about the picks. Breaking news, I guess about an hour ago when you text me, Logan, the NCAA decided to expand the playoff system to 12 teams.
They did.
What are your thoughts on that, Nick and Logan, and kind of run us through that?
I'll go first. I think it's a great idea. I think it's long overdue. I don't know why you wouldn't want the best teams in the mix. We were looking at what a potential bracket would have looked like last year. Pitt would have been in it. Kenny Pickett wouldn't have been sitting out. You're going to have better players playing. It's going to be more competitive football. There's not going to be any of those gimme bowl games where you got third-string quarterbacks playing. I think it's a no-brainer, personally. I know there's a lot of people that aren't in agreement with me. If one of y'all are on the opposite side of the fence, I'd like to hear why.
I agree.
I like more teams. They just got to be smart on how they locate these games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did they even say that? Because I was setting some cameras up when you text me. Did they go into details of regions of north, south, east, west?
No, I don't know if they've gone into detail.
Because I think what it's going to come into is it come from me. I've been to every national championship game. I've been to, I guess the first national championship game I went to was Danny Werfel and Florida versus Florida State in the Dome. Travel for sports, and it gets expensive. So if you want to support your team, a bowl game's one thing, but when you got to do that 3 times, and if you had to bounce from West Coast to East Coast to all that stuff, it's going to be hard for those guys to fill those seats. And all these bowl games and playoffs are about money. Yep. So I think they're going to have to do some type of region, even if it's just splitting the country in half or, vertically or horizontally. But they got to be smart about that to get butts in the seats.
Yeah, I agree. I would say you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But at face value, more teams, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with it as long as you can figure out all the logistics and all of that. I think it's a great idea.
What you said, talking about fans traveling to each venue, I think, unfortunately, college football has kind of gotten away from that now. It's more of the TV revenue, what you can generate from those games. And that's what – and the colleges get that money. Yeah. So it gets split into the conference, and that's dollar signs.
Yeah, but I think they got away from that because of the pandemic and people got locked in because, before that, people were still hitting them pretty hard and traveling and showing up. So, Nick, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the more teams, the better. Like Logan said, we see it each and every year, especially it's a newer trend where the best players aren't playing in their bowl game. They're sitting out because they don't have anything to play for. And I think attendance kind of goes along with that, where we see a lot of these bowl games, especially the smaller ones with empty stands, because the games don't matter.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I know me as an LSU fan, I would be willing to travel anywhere across the continent to see any playoff game for them.
So, but I can say this from a guy that I was at LSU. We beat Tennessee in the SEC championship that year. Yeah, so I was at LSU. That was the first game when been going to games my whole life, but really traveling, started there and didn't miss anything after that, from SEC championships to bowl games. Now, of course, my parents helped me out with most of it through college, and when I had to start paying for it, it got expensive. So, but yeah, tough to hit all those games.
I think the NIL is going to help with that too, though. I know everybody's got their own kind of opinion with that, but if players are – Leonard Fournette was talking about it. He felt like if he was at LSU when they were able to get the NIL, that he would have been making $10 million a year.
No doubt.
So for players that – there's incentive to come back for your senior year if you're making $10 million in endorsements and things of that nature, whereas you might not make that much on an NFL first-year contract.
Here's the catch with that. I'm all for the NIL. I think the kids deserve it on a certain level, but you got to pick and choose. You can't have the transfer portal and the NIL.
I agree.
You got to go with one or the other, because you're getting teams luring other kids away because of NIL deals they could potentially get. Now, that's going to get hairy, and they're going to have picked one.
Well, it's like Alabama's running back Gibbs going from Georgia Tech.
Gibbs?
Like he's going to be one of the top running backs in the country, whereas it's like.
Yeah, but there was rumors Alabama's quarterback got offered NIL deals because at UCLA and some other places.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison from Pitt to USC. Can't remember the coach. I watched the game last night. Now came out and said, they were already in discussions before about NIL.
So, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, but that's the kind of thing you're dealing with now, where it's almost these players can now have representation, so the players don't have to talk directly to the schools. Representation can talk to the schools.
Yep.
I know when I was in college and everything like that, even boosters you weren't supposed to speak to.
Yep.
But now you have your own representation, so they're right there. Yes, they're doing good work, finding new deals, getting you money, spending money, what have you, through NIL deals. There also can be out there marketing for you, looking to other universities where you can still be playing on Saturday somewhere, but then as soon as that season's over with, you're packing your bags because you think you had this NIL deal lined up over here.
Definitely. No, I agree.
And what's the old joke in basketball? You know where Shaq made his first million? LSU.
Leonard Fournette said he wasn't getting paid. Okay.
Trust me. They've been getting paid since the 50s, trust me.
But glad to have you guys here, Nick and Logan. So let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll get into our picks of the week, what these guys like, what they're looking for over the weekend with college and NFL, and a little bit about the Saints, even though they're off till next week. And I promise you, Nick will talk a little bit more in the next segment.
Hey, he's riding high. He went undefeated
we're going to talk about that.
You have to mute for me.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Mike Arnold, Chip South. Got Nick and Logan here from Big Easy Bets. New segment we're going to start every pregame. Senior night here, St. Paul's versus West Jeff. Live out in what Ridge called the Grove. Got Dr. Barry walking up. Check out that, man. Yeah, you missed one night and we come on.
I know.
So, but yeah, so let's get in our picks. We were talking kind of off air. My first pick, and I'm going to just go with it, just even though I think it might be a trap, and I'm going to let Nick kind of go into that. But LSU -3 against Florida State Sunday night. I have a gut feeling it's a trap, but the only reason I told Logan this is why I don't think it might be a trap is because over and under is at 50.5, I believe. And I don't think Florida State can score more than 3 touchdowns against us. So what are your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think the strength of LSU is definitely the defense and the front seven especially. But I wouldn't say that the secondary is a weakness at all, especially going against a team like Florida State. Their quarterback, Jordan Travis, he's a good player, but he's not known for
I see Logan
really throwing the ball downfield and moving the ball that way. But on offense is the concern for me, the offensive line mainly.
And we don't even know who's playing quarterback yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think everybody knows, but
you pretty much do. But I know he said he's holding it out for strategic purposes. But Nick lean Nussmeier.
Yeah, I would lean Nussmeier. I think he's a better passer, so I'd like a quarterback that can throw it personally. But
what is Kelly's tendencies at Notre Dame in the past? He likes the thrower or the runner?
No, I feel like he's more. Sorry to cut you off. I feel like he's more run and defense. He doesn't like if you look at Ian Book. Ian Book had 1 year where he really lit it up, but outside of that, he was a collegiate game manager. So I feel like he wants to not allow the quarterback to lose him the game and just let him run the offense, get it to Kyron Williams. Always had a good running back, good defense. So
yeah, that's true. But I think here with LSU, the offensive line's a little bit of a concern, and then
because they're
running back as well.
Just having the freshman left tackle that we haven't seen with Will Campbell and some of that stuff.
Yeah, he's been named the starter.
Yep.
So
that dude's a beast, though, man. I've been keeping up with him for about 2 years, and I mean, I know you're going into Division I football, so it's a little bit different, but that kid's a beast.
Yeah, we'll see. We have plenty of depth at wide receiver, so that's a big plus for us. Yeah, no matter who's throwing the ball, there's definitely playmakers out there that when they catch it, they'll be able to make plays with it. So
yeah, I mean, there's no question. Keyshawn Boutte is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the country. But Neighbors, he's a guy who's kind of flying under the radar. He's going to light it up this year. There's going to be, and then obviously Jack Besh. There's plenty of guys to get the ball to. So scoring the football shouldn't be too much of an issue if the offensive line can hold up.
Cool. Well, I'm going to lock in LSU -3. Chip, I'm going to let you go next on your first pick.
I'm just taking simple Illinois, Indiana. Illinois is getting 2 points. I'll take that. Just the way they looked last week, Indiana's just pretty much coming out now. I just like Brett Bielema. Love him.
You guys, as the experts, want to tell him how bad that pick is?
He's on Illinois.
You see? I just that they have that kind of the way Arkansas looked back in the old SEC days when Bielema was running it. They have that look about them. They're not overly athletic, but they will run the ball. They execute well. They're not stupid. They don't get dumb penalties. Usually just really well coached. And I think Indiana kind of fell off a cliff last year when everyone was expecting something from them. They didn't handle pressure well, and now pretty much whatever talent they had is gone. So
they had
Illinois +2.
They were good. Indiana overachieved in that shortened COVID year, but they had Michael Penix Jr., but then he tore his ACL, came back the next year, was horrible. He transferred. He's out. Illinois, Chase Brown at running back. I know the backup running back got hurt, so it's going to be even more on Brown, but he was unstoppable. One thing that worries me is the traveling over to Dublin, then having to travel back and all of that. But having a game under your belt, I think, is more beneficial than having to travel. Nick's on Illinois.
So that's one of your picks, Nick, is Illinois +2.
That was one on the podcast. Yeah, basically what he said. I think that they believe in their coach. They're well coached. They don't make many mistakes. And I always like to bet on a team that plays hard. So. Yep. I think Illinois is one of those teams.
We're riding high, too. We're coming off a good night. Nick went 2-0, hit his lock of the week last night. I went 2-1, nearly 3-0, lost it by a hook, but we're feeling good. So we're trying to keep that rolling.
So who's your Saturday first pick?
With that being said, I'm taking some shots this week. I'm taking some chances.
Getting cocky.
I'm going Ohio State -17. Obviously, they fell short last year. Stroud didn't win the Heisman. For the first time in a long time, they didn't win the Big Ten because Michigan finally figured it out. I think they're going to come out with a lot to prove. The key here for me is Jim Knowles, a defensive coordinator, coming over from Oklahoma State. We just saw them last night give up 44 to Central Michigan. Yep. So the defense was struggling there. Jim Knowles has a really good system. It's kind of complex, but they have a lot of starters back. They're returning 9 of their 11 top tacklers. And they have a guy on the D-line. I'm blanking on his name, but they're saying as of right now he's further along than Chase Young was. So I'm sure he's.
I saw the article.
I'm blanking on his name, but you're gonna be able to figure out who it is if the hype is real. They're gonna come out. I mean, Notre Dame has a first time starting quarterback who, I mean, you're getting thrown to the fire here. It's 17 points. It seems like a lot if you look at the rankings, but outside of that, they're going to be up 14-0 in the blink of an eye, and then it's going to come down to can Notre Dame even remotely hang in this game. They're going to get away from the game plan that they want to, how they want to operate. I think Ohio State runs it up on them.
Awesome. So Ohio State -17 at Notre Dame, correct?
Correct.
All right, cool. So we got 2 Illinois -2, Ohio State over here, and LSU in a trap game possibly at giving 3 points. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my second pick, and I just had to pivot. Because I had Indiana, so since 2 of you guys picked Illinois,
roll with it.
No, I'm good. I'm just going to go with what my dad said, and I'm going to go with TCU taking the first half at -6.5. So that's a quick pivot.
Are we putting an asterisk by this pick if this hits?
Not if I win, or if I win both of them, then it doesn't matter.
We got to give credit to you, Dad.
So just remember, so I am giving you credit. So so that's what I'm going to go with there. TCU first half, 6.5.
Also, too, sorry to cut you off. Ohio State's at home, and the line's dropped to 16. So it's come down a point.
Yep.
17's a football number. You can get it at 16. I like it even more.
Yep. So Nick, what you got for your second pick?
Okay, so I was debating giving this one because the line kind of flipped, but
wait, hold on. Is it UNC?
Yeah, but I'm going with
you and I are like on the same page.
I'm going with App State.
That's what I'm taking. App State.
He's hot this week. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, this is kind of frightening now.
So, yeah, when we recorded, App State was 1.5 underdogs. Today they're 1.5 favorites. But just looking at their team, strong running team, have 3 really good running backs, and an experienced quarterback who struggled at times, but I think this is the year that he finally puts it all together. The addition of defensive coordinator Gene Chizik, who won a national championship with Auburn as their head coach, I think that's going to make App State turn into a very, very, very good football team. Because the weakness in the couple years past has been their defense has played kind of soft, allowed a lot of yards, trying to play bend, don't break. I think they're a bit more aggressive this year. So I'm going to go with App State -1.5.
And, I mean, where do you not like it at? Because you got a 3-point swing now. I mean, are you getting antsy around 2.5, 3?
If it gets to 3, you got to start 2.5, 3. Yeah. I think they'll win, and I think it'll be close. But
okay, Chip, what you got?
I just had Appalachian State as well for the simple fact that in-state game number 1.
Y'all know each other?
Yeah, they collaborated.
I don't know if that's scary or not. So.
But no, in-state game for them.
Yep.
Little brother played against big brother. North Carolina's defense did not look good last week. Gave up a lot of points. I can't remember who they played now. I watched.
They played Florida A&M.
It
was a little.
Yeah, Florida A&M without a full team.
Yeah, it was a little iffy.
Yeah.
They didn't even know it was like Friday, and it was up in the air on if they were going to play.
So I mean, no Sam Howell this year. They have Mays as their quarterback, who was an Alabama commit at one time until they signed somebody. Jalen Milroe. But good quarterback, still second start, and the athletes he's going to see at Appalachian State are not the same as he saw against A&M. And I just think, I mean, number one, they're giant killers already. They did it to Michigan about a decade ago, so at the Big House. So see if it happens again.
So you are the same.
Spot on.
Could be a good thing.
And, Logan, give it to us.
All right. Like I said, I'm taking shots this week. We're going out west. Take it with a grain of salt, but looking at USC and Rice, a lot of people are jumping on the USC train. A lot of people have them potentially going in the college football playoff. I'm not there yet, but I think they're going to throttle Rice. You've got Lincoln Riley, just signed a huge deal. I mean, the boosters forked over some big bucks for him. Caleb Williams went with them. Big transfer, Jordan Addison, wide receiver out of Pitt. They're going to come out and make a statement quick. Rice wants to hold the ball. They averaged 33 minutes time of possession last year. They want to sit on the ball, but the problem with that is they got outscored, I think it was 140-20 in the first quarter alone last season. So they want to hold the ball, but they get in a hole really, really quick. USC's going to run it up. They're going to try to prove that it was worth the money. Lincoln Riley, offensive mind. They could drop 60 on them. I don't think Rice is going to be able to hang. They're going to want to try to keep everything in front of them defensively. Caleb Williams, as long as he doesn't get carried away and try to go for the big shot each time, you're going to be able to dink and dunk down the field. Rice is going to want to run the ball. It's not going to work. It's conflicting
It's going to get ugly fast.
Yeah, I believe so.
So what's the number?
32.5.
Okay.
You like the big ones. I mean, you like
this week, not typically. This week.
What time is that? An evening game or?
That is, I believe,
a West Coast game.
6:30. I think.
Do you guys ever factor in that time zone, right? So you got an East Coast playing maybe a West Coast at 7 o'clock West Coast, which is really 10 o'clock start at home, and you know, because I've always looked at that kind of thing, and you see it sometimes. You know?
No, yeah, I agree. I think you definitely got to take it into account. It starts at 5 though.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
I think in the NFL that's something to take into account, especially if a West Coast team travels to the East Coast and has to play a little bit earlier, like 10 a.m.
Or if you get a Monday night and then at home West Coast, travel East Coast for a Sunday early game, you got to let, you know what I'm saying?
I just think it's a good opportunity to really get off on the right foot. USC, I mean, since the national championship game against Texas, really hasn't done very much. So this is a storied program.
Talent.
Yeah, exactly. So now this is a good chance for them right off the bat. Like I said, the boosters forked over a lot of money to get these guys. They're going to want to look like they're getting a good return on investment. So.
Absolutely. So you heard it here. Nick and Chip going to go probably 0-2 since they both agreed.
Not in my world.
And Logan, you're with USC and
Ohio State
against Notre Dame. I have LSU and first half TCU from Bob. I had to pivot. So, but you can write down Indiana and see what happens. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and wrap it up with the guys from Big Easy Bets, and we'll be right back.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Your style for less and the quality you should expect, like Bernhardt, Hooker, Century, Flex Steel, and more. And it's all GG quality approved for you, but only at your family-owned and operated American Factory Direct Furniture, your quality furniture destination of the Gulf South.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
And we're live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Mike Arnold. Got Rich Bourgeois back in the, not the booth, but the
saddle.
The saddle, there you go. So I also got the guys, Nick and Logan here from Big Easy Bets, weekly segment, gonna talk about football, college pro, what they like, and then we'll start the official pregame show back in the press box here in about probably 20, 30 minutes. So you heard the picks from Chip, myself, Nick, and Logan. Dr. Barry rolled up, and he took Mississippi and Mississippi. And so Mississippi State and Southern Miss. Didn't know the lines, didn't know the numbers, doesn't matter.
Don't need them.
Dr. Barry's ringing the cowbell.
Yeah.
So, Ridge, what you got?
Yeah, no, I'm a homer myself. I heard you guys dumping on the Tigers a little earlier, but
I wasn't dumping on them.
But hey, those are my boys, and I like what Brian Kelly. I think he's going to surprise people. You got him in the Dome where we always play well. So, first game of the season, kind of unexpected. You only got to cover 3. I like Kelly to get that one done.
That's a bold statement right there, man. You only got to cover 3.
I like it. So I got the Tigers, and then I'm going to go Ole Miss. I think who they got? Is it Troy? Troy. And I just like Lane Kiffin in the Grove, man. I like Lane Kiffin in the Rebels. At home, opening.
Who's playing quarterback for him?
It doesn't matter.
No, okay. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I literally don't know.
No,
I know Corral's not there anymore.
Yeah, I have no idea. Chip, who plays?
Are you going to be in the Dome on Sunday?
Who plays quarterback for?
No, we're leaving for the beach right after this game.
Okay.
Jackson.
Okay. That's not bad. That's a close second.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart, USC transfer at Ole Miss.
Boom.
Yeah, don't be starting yet.
Oh, well, never mind.
He's not even playing.
Chip's telling us who the 4th-string quarterback is that's hurt. Oh, you didn't. You wanted the starter. You wanted the starter. So
I usually start from the back of the depth chart, so I'll give them out.
So Nick, Logan, kind of wrap us up. Tell us where people can find you guys. I know your tweets are exploding. Information stuff coming out. Your podcast. I've watched it. You do fundraising, helping out several charities, golf tournaments, stuff like that. So tell us where everybody can find you and before we cut this segment.
So, yeah, Twitter, we're very active. You can go to Twitter at Big Easy Bets. Instagram page, same thing. We're very active. We video all of our podcasts. It's a weekly podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. YouTube page, Big Easy Bets TV. You can find us real easy. You got a question, you can reach out to us. Be sure to tune into the episode. And then video, brand new this year, we've been videoing each episode.
Awesome. Nick, you got anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, subscribe to YouTube. We just started putting video up on YouTube. We need everyone to like and subscribe.
It was a long time coming.
Same thing for WPBN. Yep. So it's at Big Easy Bets. Is that right?
For YouTube, it's Big Easy Bets TV, but everything else is just at Big Easy Bets, and you find us.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Yes,
go like and share these guys. They're local. Been doing it for a few years. Fun to listen to. I've been turned on to them a couple weeks ago. So. Both great guys. Hopefully they're great picks. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes,
Logan, you're going to track all this for us?
Yes, sir.
And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Congratulations to the incredible team at iBoss Roofing, back-to-back winners of the National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction. We chose iBoss Roofing without telling anyone at the company based on an incredible body of work. iBoss Roofing is a locally owned family business that has been serving St. Tammany since 1945. iBoss Roofing is fully licensed and insured for residential and commercial re-roofing, and everything this company does is guided by honesty and integrity. Visit the website at ibossroofing.com to schedule your free new roof evaluation.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
Congratulations to the incredible team at iBoss Roofing, back-to-back winners of the National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction. We chose iBoss Roofing without telling anyone at the company, based on an incredible body of work. iBoss Roofing is a locally owned family business that has been serving St. Tammany since 1945. iBoss Roofing is fully licensed and insured for residential and commercial re-roofing, and everything this company does is guided by honesty and integrity. Visit the website at ibossroofing.com to schedule your free new roof evaluation.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Just got done with the Big Easy Bets guys. Got the senior night tailgate going on behind us, and got Dr. B in the studio. He brought some Zeppelin with him. So, Barry, kind of go through the seniors for us, and what are you expecting to see tonight in the game? So I'm gonna go ahead and hand you the whole list because I know you know them all, but just to make sure you don't leave anybody out.
Last night.
You can take a seat, buddy.
Yeah.
First, while he's looking at the list and getting ready to announce the seniors, I want to thank walk-ons Matt, Jeff, Ryan in the gang. Walk-ons Covington had a great coaches show there last night. Huge turnout for St. Paul's football. The whole restaurant was full. I've heard several compliments from people from other schools that were just there to eat on a Thursday night, and they're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
A lot of blue, a lot of gold.
Yeah.
Tons of players there, parents, packed house. So thank you to Walk-Ons Covington. Gave us some food for tonight, so I appreciate everything those guys are doing for us. So, Barry, go ahead and senior night versus West Jeff, kind of go through those guys.
Well, our seniors here tonight, we'll be hopefully be seeing them on the field all over the place. So we'll have, starting out, number 4, Jack Savaggio. He is our
happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris. Jack Savaggio is our fashion to the field player.
The drip.
He's been there for 4 years and has done
there
really
he is,
well.
right there. He just ran by.
He just ran by.
Yeah, on cue.
I think he's got his.
That's why we keep
he went
Barry
to get
around.
his drip out of his truck. So.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so number 6, Daniel Rushar. He's going to be a quarterback tonight.
Rushar, yep.
And running back, Jacob Davies. It's really fun to watch him. He can move the ball really nicely. Very.
Just athletic, shifty.
Shifty is the word.
Even runs with
and
runs with power behind those pads for the size he is.
So Jacob Johnson, a Southern Miss commit.
Yep.
They were in attendance last night by.
In the coaches show.
Yes, but it was a group of. It wasn't coaches.
Yeah, I saw
but
the
that
table.
that was the rumor, but it wasn't coaches.
Oh, that was the rumor. You
the
thought they were
coaches
going to
were
recruit us? They needed a new streaming team. Chip and
so.
Ridge missed, and we get hired by a major
that's
university.
right.
See y'all later. We just didn't want to tell y'all.
Just so you know, I was at an 8th grade game that didn't end till like 9:30. It wasn't that late, but they played an extra game behind it.
Yeah, we'll be kicking off SMBN next week, and
Then we have number 13, Ethan West. It's great to have him back. He got injured last year at the beginning of the year, and so he had to sit out the whole year and watch his buddies play. But he's been a great guy in the secondary for us. Vance Diagano, he's number 16, also in the secondary. Nathan Vincent, he's in our linebacker staff. Matthew Cody. Expecting some good things from Matthew. He got a lot of, he got several interceptions last year.
Yep.
And we're hoping to see him come back and fill some shoes where we lost some seniors last year that had some really good interceptions.
I think he'll have a chance tonight. He'll throw it up.
Yep. So that's what I hear. So Will Cambry. Will Cambry is in our secondary as well?
Yep.
Is that okay? And then Joshua Yancey, who is our fullback, H-back, U-back. Okay. All right. All those things.
You got to learn the lingo, Barry.
Yeah, that's right. You back. So Max Biggs, also in our linebacker core. Hunter Calvin is in the secondary. Chase Gonzalez, number 46, he's in our secondary. Riley Meehan, he is offensive line. Okay, and tackle. So Bo Loisel, who was our linebacker last year, behind Danny, has now moved down on the line, and he is just
it's wreaking havoc.
Wreaking havoc down there.
Yeah.
He is really blowing up some things.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch him.
Yeah.
And he brings a great
great motor. I mean, just great intensity, enthusiasm, great leadership to the team.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he's been a real bright spot and a real catalyst given how much we lost at that line.
Yep.
And size-wise last year, so he's been a bright spot.
So then we go to Michael Robin, or linebacker. Dylan Buckle, who's a 3-year starter at center. And, you know, last night, Mike, you actually let him know that he was in the magazine.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
His eyes were open to that. Yep. And, you know, but they had some really good things to say about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was really great to see that. We have Noah Strickland, who is my son, and he is a linebacker core. Brady Booth, linebacker. Justin Mott, he's on the offensive line. Dominique Livicari is our left guard.
Right guard.
Right guard.
Next to Caden.
Okay, he's back to Caden. Okay. And let's see. We have Gage Guzan, who is our left guard.
First team All-District last year.
Yep. Okay. And then we had Andrew Veener, our left tackle. Shelby Turner, who is on injured reserve right now, and he's our tight end. Big, strapping kid. Luke Walden. I'll make sure I say that right last night.
No, you did not.
He's our defensive end as well. Ian Shaffett, Brennan Shaffett. Those are two brothers that are triplets, but they're just two of them that play, and they're on our
Is Dom
our
getting taped up to coach? Excuse me, Barry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like you know, redirection here. It's like,
he does do a lot. He does a lot of arm. He gives a lot of hand signals.
He does. A lot of.
He gives the wide receiver the play.
That was one of the players.
So, I did too. I thought it was Tristan, and I was like, no, that's Dom.
That's all the brothers. Sorry.
He's getting the getting the therapy and the before the coaching session. Love it.
So then we have Wyatt Rathie, who is our defensive tackle. Bryce DePino, also at the tackle position. Is he
punter?
Oh, that's right.
Punter.
That's right. Punter, and Will Reagan down there. That's the tackle position that he plays on the defense. And then our two managers is Sean Miller and Grayson Bullock, who bring up the end there. So.
Yep.
Our,
so
you know,
our senior night, you know, special class, right, Barry?
Yep.
Team motto: something to prove. So you know, as you know, you having a son that's a senior, you know, tell us a little bit about your experience here and what you know.
Well, I mean, it's been a great 4 years. They definitely developed the kids. They put a lot of effort into getting the kids on the off season into running, conditioning, strength. Cross sports. You know, they encourage them to do other sports just besides just football, and which is going to grow them in the football area as well as playing soccer. Oh yeah, that's my middle
he's
child.
Going to the beach, man. What you?
It's
Top Gun night.
Top Gun night.
Oh, it's Top Gun night.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear the glasses, or are you just going to wear them on your head? Huh? Okay. Yeah. Just checking with you. Oh, hey.
Checking in.
Said I'm in the shade right now.
We see you in the stands. So, yep, special group of seniors.
But and going back to the, off-season stuff. I mean, these kids have been since spring training. They had 2 weeks off, and they've been training since.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they had 2 months off.
Yeah.
Well, since we were so deep in the playoffs, that we didn't have a long off season, just no football.
Yeah.
And so, which was nice.
Well, look, that's it's a commitment like no other, and that's what makes it so great.
Yep.
Because the ones that can get to the finish line, like the seniors, that's what it's all about. They'll have friends, brotherhoods for life, life lessons for life, and a lot of experiences. Most kids they don't get to experience. And
right.
So that's what the game of football teaches. That's what being part of a great team and the camaraderie that goes along with being part of a really good team in school. That to me is what senior night's all about. Is that kind of getting to that finish line and then kind of whipping that horse down the stretch to see if you can make one last run.
Right. We'll give him wrap up music now. Let's just
let's go ahead and wrap up.
Close it
WPBN pregame show had the guys from Big Easy Bets, Logan and Nick. We talked about some college football on Saturday. Didn't get a chance to get to the NFL, but thank you to those guys. That'll be a weekly segment. Barry got him a hat. Thank you to those guys. And Chip, Mike, Barry, Ridge, Rudolph will be here later. Lenny's
see in an hour.
Picking up conch shells and Key West boomerangs
and probably some designer pool tiles.
Yes.
100%.
So he won't be here tonight. Ridge will be working the camera. So we're gonna go ahead and see you guys in just a few minutes, and